Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be doing my Adelaide vs Collingwood game review for the last game of round 7, going through who did well, who did badly, and how it effectively was a pretty bad watch for me because I just tumbled down the ranks because my only player playing, DAICOS, had an effective ownership of over 100%, meaning that I was going to tumble in the ranks basically no matter what, as I was in the top 10,000 or so, and a lot of the people that had in the top 10,000, I think he had a effective ownership of 112%, meaning I think close to 20%, 30% in the top 1,000 captain DAICOS. So I'm happy that I gained 60 points on those guys because of Marshall, but it was annoying to watch my rank just continually tumble and tumble and tumble. It was surprising that it actually didn't, in the last quarter, didn't tumble as much, but that was because Rory Laird had a bad quarter and DAICOS as well. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So Dawson 112 top scored and had a big fourth quarter to basically pick up the slack from Laird, as Laird only had an 8-point last quarter, and I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't drop as much, because if you see here, a 26-point and a 30-point quarter, that's 56 between them, whereas this last quarter was 43, and also if we look at DAICOS, he had a 10-point last quarter, so 53 between them, when the other quarters they were getting 90, 100 or so points, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think I dropped as much on the last quarter. I think I only dropped something like 1,600, 1,800 ranks in the last quarter compared to a lot of the quarters I was dropping 2.53k. And it started to slow down a little bit in the after the second last game was done between Gold Coast and Richmond, which I sort of expected. Like, you expect more players to finish that you don't own, so the ownership of players to scoring actually drops and such. You should drop ranks less. So that's what happened. O'Brien had a pretty good game. Jones had a good game to back up from that horror show that it was last week. So his owners that didn't trade him out sort of got a healthy boost, and that sort of should rearrange his break even, I guess, now, as I think that he did have that 33 sort of drop out now, or is close to dropping out, which should help his break even. Saligo here, 87, pretty good effort, including 0 in the last quarter, so that really, he got subbed out, so I don't know if he's injured or not, so that that could be a bummer for people that have him. Sloan, Dodie, Hinge, Rochelle had a 79-pointer, so he's one that I think, even though that he had very low CBAs because of Keys having to go in and try and go in and try and mark up on DAICOS, and he sacrificed a lot of points in the middle out of there for them, as I think Keys went from something like 11% CBAs to 62.3, matching exactly what DAICOS did, so that's why you see those numbers there. And then you got Rochelle Pedler here, another really good game from him, so another annoying time to not have Pedler and to have had Camaminti. Those two were basically dead on even, and then Pedler's just not been suspended and gone and raised his price and been averaging really good. Scholl is doing his thing. Rankin, Thilthorpe, no one else here really interesting. McElhaney's been a really good rookie, just not fantasy friendly, obviously, as that key defender role. Miller, Keys, Walker, Fogarty, Schoenberg, no one else to really talk about. And then you've got here Noble here, 100-pointer. He's actually been really, really good, averaging 85 this year, I believe. So he's been really, really good, and he's sort of at a weird price at the moment where I'm like, do I actually want to get him because he's a very consistent scorer, but I'm not going to get him. Josh DAICOS, 100 again, another really good last quarter from him to get there. Tommy Mitchell, another 100 score from him, really good first half, got to 52, and then a good last quarter to get him up. And then DAICOS had a really good opening part of the game. He was on, look at this, he was on, 8, 6, 10, so he was on 28 after, he was on 26 after 12 minutes, and it looked like he was just going to do his thing yet again, and then had a really good third quarter, and basically got to 99, so basically 100 off the back of 2 good quarters and 2 horrific quarters. He'll cop another tag next week, I think, in Clark, but I think it will be I think with the Swans, it'll be tough because he's going to be interchanging to try and burn off that tag. And I think you'll see I think you'll still see him score a 90 or something. So it will be, it's going to weigh me off captaining him, but it's not going to be a 50 or so score that he was doing last year. He's just too good at this point, and I think this tag from Keys, an experienced midfielder, really showed that Nick DAICOS can just score whenever he wants. Sidebottom came up clutch compared to most people saying that he was going to be out or something. Could be a late out. So to have him inside and kick that behind late in the game to win the game was huge for them. McCreary had an alright game again. So I don't know, some people were saying, I don't know whether it was negative or positive towards McCreary, as fantasy-wise he had a good game. Chris, Adams, Elliott, Frampton, no one else here really. Tagoe had another shocking game, so just proving, I think, that Tagoe is not the guy that you really want this year. Only got to 53, and yeah, I think, how many free kicks against did he have? Let's look at Tagoe. He had 3 free kicks against in the last quarter alone, so let's look at how many free kicks he had. He had, in the end, 6 free kicks against, so he burnt 16 points off free kick differential, which is up to 70 basically. And now if I just want to look at Tagoe, he's still averaging 88, but his last 3 are pretty bad. His last 3 he's averaging 76, and last 5 81. So after a good start, he's really started to wear away, and he's looking like a guy you want to jump off of. And then Ginnivan, Kelly, Johnson, no one else here is really too that interesting. So this game really wasn't that fantasy relevant, to be honest, outside of Dawson, Laird, Jones, and DAICOS. Really, that was all the other guys that were fantasy relevant. So that's it for this. So I'll go back to that screen. That's my review of the Adelaide versus Collingwood round 7 clash, in which Collingwood, the comeback kings, came back and won again, and happy that I tipped them in the end to win, because they obviously came back and won it at the absolute death, which they seem to have a knack of doing. And I'll see you guys in my team review tomorrow. Thanks guys, goodbye.